Hi, guys. My name is Amina K. Thornton, and you are listening to One Up Podcast. We are now doing another series of Message of Hope, Struggle to Success. This is episode number 21. If you want to write that down, you can definitely check this out on the YouTube channel or on the podcast. To get to the YouTube channel, go to amina.media in your browser, amina.media in your browser, and that will bring you to the YouTube channel. Mikey is here today, and I actually know Mikey, so this is going to be fun. He's already all smiles here from the ones that aren't seeing. But Mikey, he's got a message for us about turning around habits. We're going to be talking about some bodybuilding, possibly changing the way you feel inside and out. And I haven't got a chance to fully dive into his book, but he just came out, so I'm super excited to be one of the very first ones that have it. It came in yesterday, and I skimmed through it very briefly, Mikey, but I didn't get through it, unfortunately, right before here. Mikey, can you say your last name for me, please?
Bonasso.
Okay. I'll try to remember that.
It gets butchered a lot, so don't feel bad.
Okay, good. I feel good already. So, Mikey, where do you want to start your story? I know I've read. There is a little quote here that I actually thought was really cool. So I actually saw this, and I'll actually tell you right now. So I was given page 20 says, ask yourself these 3 questions and write them down. What do you love? What do you hate? And what makes you weep? And, a lot of self-development stuff, covers questions, and we ask ourselves things to go overcome stuff. But it really hit me that it says here on the third one, what makes you weep? And I would actually like to start there, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And why would you put that as a question to ask?
Yeah, it is an interesting thought. I can't take full credit for it. I actually learned that from my dad years ago. The reason I started the first chapter off the way that I did is I feel that self-awareness is very important. And I think a lot of times from a young age, a lot of times kids, depending on their environment, you go to school, you go to college, you kind of just go through the motions, and you do a lot of things just because you think that's what you're supposed to do. And you might get into a relationship with someone that may or may not be right for you, and things happen, and it's like you never really take time to learn yourself, to discover who is Mikey, who is Amina, what do you like, what do you not like, what are you good at. If I don't really have any regrets in my life, because I feel like everything that's happened has led me to where I am today. So I'm grateful for the highs and the lows. But if I could go back and change anything, I think one thing I would have done out of high school, maybe took a semester off college and at least tried some different things, maybe got into real estate, started to learn some skills before
Did you go 4 years well, hold on, you said high school or college?
I went to college for 4 years.
Okay, that's what I thought you said. Okay, so you went for 4 years. All right.
But after I graduated high school,
yeah,
I had the opportunity. I could have got into real estate or shadowed someone, went into a different field, learn some skills that I almost kind of wish I would have done that before I just went right to college, because at the time I didn't know what I wanted to do or what I wanted to study.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are the same way. Yeah.
So it took me, this has been an ongoing process, obviously, of years of really trying different things, learning myself, learning what I'm good at and what I like and dislike. And I remember years ago, I probably was a teenager. My dad, those were questions that he, asked me to ask myself.
The 3 questions here. Yeah.
And I think when you tap into, you asked about what makes you weep.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah.
I think when you ask yourself questions like that and you just have some real talk with yourself, you can really hone in on some like hot button type issues that that are real problems in the world. Like you might have a soft spot for children or for veterans or for homeless people or people that battle mental health issues or like whatever the case may be, that now it kind of leads you on a path of like, okay, how can I do something to impact, make a change, help this group of people?
So it gives you purpose. It gives you purpose by asking that question. Like, what are you really passionate about? It's a good way. It's a better way, I think, of actually really finding your passion. If you do it, really understand, what does make you weep, instead of, where a lot of people, a lot of books, cover where, what is your purpose? And then you're trying to figure out, okay, well, I like this, I like that. It's a totally different turn on it. Because if you say, hold on, what makes you weep? What makes you, because if you have that strong emotion to weep about it, to be sad about it, then there's something there.
I love that
that's your passion.
That you thought the same, like along the same lines.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people say like, follow your passion and chase your dreams. And it sounds so cliche and overused.
Yeah.
No one really says like, what's something that like really triggers you? What's something that like kind of makes you mad? Like I hate to see, children suffering, or I hate, like it makes me sad. It makes me angry to a point of like, it moves you into action to go make a difference.
Yeah. And emotion is like the strongest like thing that a human has, right? So if you can relate on that emotion, then that is a huge driving factor.
I think it takes that conversation of, what are you passionate about? What would you love to do for the rest of your life and stuff like that? It takes that to like a whole nother level.
Oh yeah.
I think if you can truly do something that you're passionate about, that's fulfilling to you, that's impactful, you're providing value to people, and if you can make a living doing it too, that's like the perfect.
Oh yeah. It's like, where's the market, or, what can you do? I mean, the way I look at it, there's a couple of different ways that you can look at how you can make money off of something. And that is one with ads, right? Ads, if you can get enough traffic. Another one would be, is it a service? Are you helping a business or a person? Or is it, like a product that you're making to give to people that need this product. And that's pretty much, I think, the baseline. So like everything out there that's available. So if you can fit into one of those three dynamics, then you have something.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like when I was a teenager, I started to get into, I was building a brand. I was working with a company that we did a lot of we did a lot of filming, and the idea was we were working with a guy out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And he was in the film industry, entertainment industry. And the idea was we were creating the plan was this would have been a documentary.
Okay.
He would have aired on something, maybe on Netflix, maybe on TV somehow, of young people getting into fitness. Like that was the whole focus. So I started that as a teenager.
Okay,
and
cool.
then through college, I waited tables. And then when I was 22, when I graduated, that's when I got into like network marketing. And that was kind of my first like real taste of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And since then, it's just been, I've tried a lot of stuff. I've done sales. I've done door-to-door sales.
What did you do door to door? I did door to door. So I did ADT security system.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's funny is I was working in Richmond.
In Virginia?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that's so funny. No, I wasn't in
Richmond.
Oh, how far am I currently? I'm only about 45 minutes from Richmond. I'm right in the in between DC and Richmond. So it's
I couldn't remember the exact location, but I think one valuable lesson I've learned, and it's taken me, almost 10 years to really figure this out.
Yeah.
And you kind of talked about this a little bit previously, but I think if you want to be successful with anything, it really is about bringing value to the marketplace. Like how valuable can you become as a person? And it's not just because I've had periods of more so you feel like you're chasing money.
Yeah.
That's just
I think when you feel like you need it for something and it comes pressing, and then that's all you think about. You're like, I need this, and then it comes the main focus, which like step back and just feel like it's gonna be okay. It will do fine. You just need to stay focused on what you're doing.
Money doesn't lead; it follows.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I got to hone in on like, how can I just help my circle, my following, my audience, people that know me, trust me, even people that don't know me. Like, how can I elevate my game?
Yeah. So you went to the door-to-door sales. What were you selling again?
I worked for it was a storm restoration. Like,
okay, yeah, yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. And they take they do what is it? They give you like estimates to get your stuff replaced, and they take it to the insurance company.
Yep.
Is that what it is? Okay, cool.
Yep.
So you did that, and then it brought you into the network marketing space, because I mean it's very similar, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I started network marketing first.
Oh, okay.
Probably 6 or 7 years ago.
Huh?
And it actually I feel like I did pretty well for my age and just no experience. I mean, I think I came in at a good time. I had a good group of people, and we just we were just really passionate about what we were doing. And we actually were truly making a difference in people's lives.
And it was in the health space, right?
Yeah, it was health and wellness. We sold, I called it healthy fast food. So we had shakes and like protein cookies and snacks.
Yeah.
So we started to run a health challenge. And that's what led to, a few years later, we actually opened up our own gym.
Okay. You and a couple of friends, or?
And pretty much my dad and my uncle.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So we partnered up and, went in on that venture. And I had some friends and family that were helping out, working there. Some became personal trainers. We had a good.
That's cool.
It was a cool little community. And I just got to the point, like, it wasn't a 24/7 gym.
Yeah.
So I was there 7 days a week. And then I was also running my network marketing business. And then I got into bodybuilding. I got this crazy idea to do a competition. And I didn't realize at the time, because I had lost like probably 20, 25 pounds. Thinking like, okay, now I'm in a position to go do this.
Yeah. You had quite a bit of weight to lose though, right? I seen some of the pictures and stuff. Yeah.
I used to, through college and high school, even out of college, do what most people do. Like in the wintertime, you bulk up and then you want to get shredded for summer.
That's true. Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take a couple years and just bulk and just get as big as I can. Well, I was doing it not cleanly. So I was super strong in the gym. I was like, I had a lot of body fat that I
yeah, you were just like, well, how is this happening? I'm doing like what I think is right, at least.
It's one of those things, like you wake up one day and you look at yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, like how did I get to this point? So I knew I needed to make a change. I was about 250 pounds.
Yeah, wow.
So I dropped to 230, decided to do a competition, hired a coach.
You guys would never know it today, guys. Anybody that's listening to this right now on the live or listening to it on the podcast, Mikey is like super fit. So yeah, you have to check out the YouTube channel. So go over.
Yeah, I appreciate it though.
Yeah. So
it's been a few year process, but I ended up hiring a coach. Didn't realize how much work I needed to do really I basically had like 11 weeks to cut. Like I ended up losing like another 40 some pounds.
Wow. And I did the calculation on this because it's in your first chapter. So I was like, that's a lot of weight to lose in that little bit of a time. Because my average when I like seriously lost weight, because I was also pretty big at one time. I think my average, I could like the max, like if I cut out like everything and totally strike was like 3.5 pounds a week. and you're up to like 5 pounds a week, I calculated.
Not a healthy way
like,
to do it.
What? I'm like, how? I mean, here I thought like, oh, 3.5 is like, I was like, I think I was only eating like 800 calories. And I was just like, it was tough. It was tough. I can't even imagine trying that. And then you're also you're not just losing a body fat. You're also what is it? Cut, and then there's gain, I guess. Would it be cut and gain? So you're also gaining too, right? Because you're building the muscle.
I had luckily and I'm thankful that I spent so many years bulking.
Yeah.
I actually had the muscle mass, even though when you're in a calorie deficit like that, and especially for me, like it was a really extreme, like losing 5
pounds a week. Yeah.
It's not a healthy.
I can't imagine it.
Believe me, when you do a competition, there's one thing to be healthy and be fit and look good and feel good. It's another thing to do a competition. There's healthy ways of doing it. In my case, I just didn't have enough time. It was my own dumb fault. So
well, you had ambition.
What's that?
You had ambition. You're I'm gonna get on stage.
That's the best thing is I feel like through that, it's the hardest thing I've probably ever done.
Yeah.
It took so much mental willpower. I mean, I remember being on like the Stairmaster because I'd have to wake up. I would do 60 minutes on that at like 5 a.m.
Yeah, that's early.
Later in the afternoon, I would lift weights for like an hour. Then I would do another 60 minutes of the Stairmaster.
Wow.
7 days a week.
I'm surprised you're even getting up at this point, because that's especially going straight into that. That's tough.
It was so hard. My brain, like if you've ever dieted like that and been to a point where you're so carb depleted, and it was such a shock to my system that I was mentally, I was like kind of losing my mind. It was hard to be around people because you're real moody. I'm also a personal trainer.
Uh-huh.
I'm running a gym.
At this point you already have your gym. Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, there were people that I'd like snap at for just no reason and felt so bad. And I'm just like, man, I'm literally dreaming about food.
I bet your body's like, we're dying here. We need some food.
Yeah, I felt like I was starving.
Good. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But I was eating 6 meals a day.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're eating 6 meals.
It's amazing what the human body can do if you really test it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it was an experience.
I bet.
I'm so glad I did it. Even though in the moment
it was, you were like, why am I keep doing this? But you were seeing results. You were seeing results too, especially if you're losing 5 pounds a week. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you started.
Like I competed. I weighed in at 197.
Uh-huh.
And then from that, it just changed my perspective on food and just how I was living and training. And so I started to do a lot more like full functional, full body type workouts. I cleaned up my diet. Like I started eating a lot less meat.
Yeah.
So I wanted to cut out, for the most part, almost completely cut out dairy. And then I ended up getting down to, I was like in the low 80s. Like 180, 185.
Wow.
So it ended up being a total of 65 plus pounds lost.
That's good. Yeah.
I'm like, I feel so much better. I'm probably in the best shape I've ever been in. Yeah. And I'm back to like my weight that I weighed when I was a sophomore in high school, pretty much.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
So it's been a process and a journey, but it's been rewarding, and I've learned a lot from it. And
well, you said that when you were a sophomore, you were that. So you gained all that bulk and the extra fat, right? And then you totally changed that around and lost it all in that short a period, really. I mean, it's a really short period if you think about it, because how many years is that? Like
from when I was at my heaviest?
Since your, I guess, when you were a sophomore, when you were already this weight, right? To when you finally got to that weight again. Have you did that calculation?
Yeah, probably 10 years.
10 years. That's, yeah, that is definitely. I know how I know how long it takes to lose a significant amount of weight and to actually, keep it off, to be disciplined too. So yeah, it just seems like, you just totally is like, I mean, especially because you had to say, well, then you gained it, right? In the first 5 years you gained it. And then the next 5 years, you became disciplined enough to have the equipment, to have the knowledge, to, go and turn everything around. So yeah.
When I was in high school, I was really skinny, and I hated
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
I played sports and stuff, and it was like I was athletic, but I wasn't very strong. And I remember I was probably a freshman in high school. A girl kind of jokingly said I was scrawny, and I never forgot that.
Yeah, I bet.
And I from that moment on, it's crazy what one word, one sentence, one moment in time can impact someone's entire projection of their life. But
yeah, there's actually something I was listening to. It might have been the book that I was just listening to the other day. I'm listening to The Four Agreements. I can't think of the gentleman's name. I think it's Miguel or something. The Four Agreements. And there was something in there that basically said that, we get this information. I believe it was this book that I was just listening to, that we get this information, but it's not until we agree with it does it become our reality. And I'm like, that's a good way to look at it, because if it hurt you or if it made an impact on you, then somewhere in yourself you kind of already felt like that, and they hit that nerve and you agreed with it. Yeah,
that's true.
So I was like,
look at it.
Yeah, I was like, that's interesting, because if you look at it that way, then there's a lot of things that you could just say, okay, I agree with it, but I don't accept it,
Mm-hmm.
And why do I agree with it, and then you could question it and then work out the issue and then overcome the issue. So
I agree. It's crazy when I think back. When I was a freshman in high school, I've been the same height since I was in 7th grade.
Oh, really? I can imagine. You're probably the tallest person in class.
I was.
How tall are you? How tall are you?
I'm about 6 foot.
Okay, yeah. I remember standing next to you. You're towered over me.
So
heels or something.
I was in 7th grade. I mean, I'm playing center on the basketball team. I'm literally almost 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
With I don't know, 11 or 12-year-old. And I quit growing, but I was I grew so tall so quick. I was super skinny.
Yeah.
So my freshman year, I was 150 pounds. And I ended up, when I hit 250, I was thinking about that. I'm I've literally put on 100 pounds through high school and college.
Wow. Yeah.
I was playing
so you're saying.
Yeah. All these guys were lifting weights and you're eating all this food, but it eventually it does catch up to you if you don't, eventually start eating better and take care of yourself and staying active. And so once I hit that point, I was I had to reverse it.
Yeah.
So it was I gained that 100, and then, now I'm down almost 70, which is funny to think about. But it's when you get older, you don't really care so much about how much you can bench and how big and strong you are. It's I would rather just be able to go for a run without, getting winded, go for a bike ride, go play basketball, still be strong and fit and functional. But I want to be flexible. I want to be able to
do stuff, right? Do stuff in your life.
Move and stretch and dance and
and it all does catch up with you. Yeah. So
I remember
see it right now doesn't mean it's not going to catch up with you in the future. In fact, Jim Rohn had a quote about that one too, about it's not the chip a day, it's what it's going to be in the future.
Compound effect.
Yeah, the compound effect. Yeah.
A bit each day adds up.
Yeah, it sure does. So what happened after the gym? So you ended up closing it down then, because you said that, you were working like nonstop. You were doing the weightlifting. You were also doing the network marketing and just trying to balance everything, it sounds like.
Yeah. It was a pretty hectic time for me because we had the gym for almost 3 years, and we were kind of at that point where it's like I feel like kind of hit a ceiling. Like to really grow it, we only have so much space. We can only fit so many members. Like there's only so much we can do. So we're thinking, do we open up another location? Like how can we start to scale this? And I'm like, I have to do something financially if I want to, continue to progress. So that's when I started working in Richmond. So for me, it's about a 5-hour drive. So I would wake up Monday morning at like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Oh man.
Drive to Richmond, knock doors all day. I'd work till probably Thursday. Like I'd stay down there pretty much Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
Come home and then run the gym Friday to Sunday.
Oh man.
Train people, work on my network marketing stuff. So I'm like 7 days a week. I mean, nonstop, but it was like I just didn't feel like I was really gaining traction with anything.
Yeah.
And it was a lot on my family back home that was running the gym while I wasn't there. So it kind of got to that point of, all right, we either need to go 24/7.
Yeah.
Or maybe we should just look to sell it. So we kind of threw it out there. We talked to some people privately, and we met a girl and her husband, super nice, super amazing, passionate about the gym, the fitness industry, and it was like a perfect fit.
Perfect
so
time.
They took over. They actually went 24/7 like right away. They added in a bunch of new classes and stuff, and that was like a year and a half ago, and they're doing super well.
Oh, good.
So it's really a blessing for all of us.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can imagine driving 5 hours once a week to go and do everything, and then having to like get back as soon as you can, and go to the gym, go work out yourself, and just staying fit even during that transition, because it's 5 hours one way, right?
Mm-hmm.
That it took you 5 hours. 5 hours one way. So you're not getting any fitness in that time. Yeah, you had to actually.
Yeah, like when I was in Richmond, I mean, I didn't even. I think I was down there for several months, and I think I went to the gym twice.
Yeah.
Like we were just so busy, and it's like you get caught up in eating junk.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Because even when you're like going so much, I bet it's hard to keep track of calories.
Yeah, it was not I was like, my plan was to move down there.
Okay.
At some point.
Yeah, Richmond's
so I was like,
nice. I really like Richmond. Yeah.
Yeah, it was it was like right outside Glen Allen area, and I forget the other town, Short Pump or something. Does that sound?
Yeah, it sounds familiar. I'm not sure where it's at exactly. Right. It might be further south of Richmond. I'm thinking a little bit further north of Richmond.
Nice areas. But
there's a lot there. There's a lot of historical places that are nice, that have been built out. So, yeah. Yeah, definitely. So you ended up selling the gym, and so you still have the network marketing. You're still doing the sales. What changed then? What happened?
So we ended up selling the gym, and long story, it doesn't work out in Richmond.
Okay.
So I ended up coming home, and I'm like, okay, now what am I going to do?
Yeah, because you just released the gym, and now it's not working in Richmond. So you're like, was there a time that you were just like, why did I sell the gym? I went from being now I have all this time,
super busy with stuff, to like, wow, now I'm like, the gym, we don't have it anymore. I'm not going to Richmond anymore, but I still had my personal training business. So I still worked at the gym, and I was helping out the new owner. So I spent a lot of time there, and then I started to get back into network marketing more full time. And then let's see. So this is a crazy thing, but I had, thanks to my mom and my sister, I applied to be on a national television show.
Yeah. I talked to you briefly about this. Yeah, I'm interested to hear more about it. So you were gonna go to California and be on a show, right? Although your mom and sister found this out. This is interesting. So how'd they find out about it?
This was like, well, they used to watch the show and they kind of got me into it, and they're like, you ought to just apply and see what happens. So I did.
Everybody's wondering what the show is because you haven't mentioned it yet.
Well, it's a certain.
What's the show, Mikey? What's the show?
Certain dating popular reality.
Yeah, we'll leave it that. It's a popular dating show you guys probably all heard of. Yeah, okay. So yeah, Mikey was gonna be on this dating show, and we would have seen him up there not so long ago until everything changed, right? Because
it was a very
life just twists and turns, doesn't it?
It was just crazy because it went from months of silence, and then I think I got an email first out of the blue. I'm like, Then it led to a Skype interview. Then I ended up going to New York City. Okay. Then I ended up going to LA for like the finalist week.
Yeah.
And so through this is over the course of like a year. So it's starting to get, like, each month, this is getting more real. Like, this might actually happen.
Oh, yeah.
It really put kind of a hold on stuff I was doing back home, because I'm like, I don't want to get too involved in something else, because I might be leaving for
a while.
For a couple months.
Yeah.
So there was it was such a crazy time, and there was things I was working on behind the scenes, and I've always wanted to write a book and do some, like, things on the side.
Well, you can check that one off. You can check that off. We got the book.
That was a big one. Yeah. So I started doing some, like, property management. I got my first rental. So I'm starting to get more into, like, real estate.
Yeah.
And then get the phone call that, crazy story, but I'm like a week out from leaving. Like, I'm literally going to LA for who knows how long. Like, this is happening. I got everything set up here. I listed my house for sale.
Oh,
like, all systems go. Let's go. Yeah. So I get a phone call saying, we decided to go in a different direction. We're not going to bring you on this season.
And you're just like, wait, that is like next week. That's like next week. What are you doing? What?
I was like, oh, man, bummer. So
at least you took it good.
What's that?
I said, at least you took it good. So you were like,
I mean, I was like, and I have the mindset now of, like, everything happens for a reason.
It did. Maybe those people on there wasn't the direction. So yeah.
Well, here's what's crazy. So a week later, I get another phone call. They changed their mind. We want to bring you on.
Oh no!
So I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Can I call you back, like, in a few hours? Like, I have to get some things, like, take care of some affairs, and I could probably fly out, like, maybe tomorrow. I mean, that's like the earliest.
Yeah.
So I call them back, and they're like, no, we pretty much need you here tonight.
Oh, wow.
We need to finalize everything tonight. So I'm like, there's no way. Like, I just my house for sale. I have things that I have to take care of. I can't just leave right now.
Wow.
So it was, at that point, it was like, well, maybe next year, or, we'll see what happens in the future
or something. Yeah.
And then 2 days later, filming gets postponed and everything goes on lockdown. So everyone that was out there got flown back. And I'm like, well, maybe I'd temporarily dodged a bullet.
Yeah. Because
So
you never know. You could have flown out there, got the virus, came back. It's like you
who
just
knows?
don't know.
But
Yeah.
from that is what led to I started writing my book because I'm like,
Yeah.
why do I keep waiting for this perfect time? Like, I'm just going to start it and work on it a little bit every day.
Uh-huh.
And I created my new brand, which is called Embody Better Fitness. And
Embody
all
better.
this stuff, like, it's crazy looking back because I'm like, if some things happened or didn't happen, it probably doesn't. I probably don't write a book, at least
Oh yeah.
right now. Or there's just so many things that have happened that probably wouldn't have happened if some of those things in the past happened.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I think
So,
everybody kind of relates to that in a way, in some way. Maybe not everybody, that's really broad, but I know for me, I probably wouldn't be having a podcast. So, I mean, because it
yeah,
wasn't on my trajectory. It wasn't something I was like, I had in my goals. It just really came out of nowhere. Just like, I feel it's needed. I have these amazing connections, and let's see how it goes. And all of a
yep.
sudden, all these amazing people have been on the show, and
And
I'm
I think
super
it's
excited
awesome
and
too.
grateful about it.
You've done this
So, thank
just
you.
went
Thank
with it,
you.
stayed consistent with it, and it's
Yeah,
inspiring.
thank you. Well, I figured there's nothing stopping me like you. It was just like, well, I have the equipment, right, to write the book. I had the knowledge to get it printed, right? You knew how to do all that already. And that's how I was. I didn't have the mic. Actually, my son was gifted it for Christmas. He didn't use it. So he was like, hey, you want to use my mic? I'm like, sure. And so I already had the
Well,
stand. So, and then I had like pretty much basic cameras. The newest camera that I'm using now is, of course, my newest one, which I'm super excited to actually have in. So it just kind of grew. And then I'm like, well, I have the knowledge, I know how to do it. So what's stopping me? And
so
I think you
true.
have to ask yourself that, are you going to regret this later? If you don't do it now, are you going to regret it? And I think that's a bigger driving factor. Like if I look over this opportunity, or if I look over this sensation, or this calling, in a way you could say, how would I feel about it in a year from now? How would I feel about it in 2 years from now? And then when you look at it that way, you're just like, yeah, if it makes you feel like that pain in a way, like that like gnawing feeling that I'm gonna feel like really crappy if I don't do it, then you should probably do it, right? I bet that's the same when you felt with your book.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Like what you went through all this coronavirus thing, you didn't write this book. How would that make you
I know.
feel?
Like, what a perfect time too. I
Yeah.
thought most people through this time period. I know everyone's going through. There's so many
Everything
things
different.
happening,
There is.
and I
Yeah.
want to be sensitive of people that could be really really struggling through this time, and then there's people that are thriving through this time.
Oh yeah.
And I know a lot of people probably through this time period probably did nothing, probably got lazier, probably didn't do anything physical, probably ate a bunch of junk, and just justified it like, well, I'm home, I'm in quarantine, I'm
I'm gonna take it like a vacation. I've seen a
yeah,
couple that was just like, I'm just waiting until my work opens back up, and go back to work and just go about my stuff, which is totally fine. If you're cool with that, do that. That's your
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
took some days and to just relax and go for walks, get away, watch a little Netflix, have a little balance in life. But I'm like, I also want to
Yeah.
maximize this time period, and I want to come out better, stronger, smarter, learn a new skill.
Oh, yeah.
Publish a book, or like, why wait? And I think with anything that you want to do deep down, the key is number one to start,
Yep.
and you really just have to. If it's a big goal, like that saying, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? It's like a nibble a day. And me writing a book, like that seemed like a very daunting. Where do you even start? So I
Yeah.
created this like little word map, this little like bubble looking map thing with like my ideas that became chapters. And then I'm like, can I write, 1,000 words or 2,000 words or whatever per chapter? And can I do that over the course of 1 or 2 days? Like, you just break it down.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same with fitness. It's the same with really anything. If you can just do, like, I'm trying, I've done this for years, but I'm really trying to make this a habit in my life, is to actually read every day. I want to read at least a chapter a day.
You need to get Audible. That's how I get it done.
That's
Audible, it's the only thing I do, because I can easily turn it on. And I've got the Alexa Echo. So it's just so nice. I can just tell it to turn on my audiobook. And I do it a lot just before bed too. So it's nice just to have on until I get tired. In fact, I leave it running through the night. So it's like programming, I guess, too, because all my books are deal with mindset and CEO and success, bios, things like that. So them running through the night, sometimes I actually wake up to certain chapters, and I get that aha, like, wait, that's exactly what I was just trying to figure out. So I leave it running, and you get amazed at what you wake up to. It's like, huh.
And I don't know the science and all that behind it, but I know that, and I've heard and read that if you do that, a lot of times, like, your subconscious will pick up on things that you may or may not be aware of, but it's like it's there in the back of your brain.
Yeah.
So there will be something you see, or you're in a situation or a decision you make or something that kind of comes back to the forefront. And you're like, where did that even come from? But it was something you picked up subconsciously from maybe listening to an audio when you were sleeping, or who knows.
Yeah. And actually that's in even like in any conversation, any interactions that you have with people, that information's still stored, whatever you've been through in your life, it's still there. And then I think of like the aspect like you were touching on with the programming when you sleep. I think a lot of that helps, at least when you sleep, because your I wouldn't know what the exact name or term would be, but that thinking brain that you're always like questioning things and like, yeah, I know everything. I know what I'm doing. I got control of this. That turns off when you sleep. And then your subconscious can actually, pick up the information, the subconscious that actually gives you the good information that you usually ignore. It's actually there, and it gives you that information that you need to make the next step. So I think that's where I would say that it comes from. Of course, I don't know exactly, but
I think that we're constantly being influenced, and there's always, everything you look at any given second, your brain is picking up.
Yeah.
So much information, but it's only really focusing and retaining a small percentage. So it's like, what is your brain really picking up at any given moment? When you drive on the road, you may only notice the cars that you're familiar with, or if like you see another make and model that of your vehicle, like you're going to notice that a lot more because your brain has a reason to recognize it.
Yeah.
So, for me, if I'm not familiar with a certain car, I see it on the road, my brain doesn't even pick up on, I just passed whatever. But you can train your mind to see and notice opportunities, because they're all around us.
Oh yeah. And a good thing with the whole driving aspect, if you think of that way of overlooking something, like how many times have you went down the same road and then noticed like there was like a sign or a bush or something, and you're just like, oh, that's really cool. And then whoever you're with says, oh, that's been there like ever since you been here, like for years it's been there, you're just not noticing that. Yeah. That's like, really, it has, yeah, because something changed and you're now seeing it.
The brain is a powerful tool.
Yeah, definitely. So you gotta watch what you put into it too, right?
Or your biggest downfall.
Yeah, definitely. And it's yourself that that usually gives you the most negativity and is the biggest challenge to get over too.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
I mean, I try to have that like bulletproof mindset, but it's like, I think, we all deal with self-doubt and fear, uncertainty, especially when you're trying something new, you're doing, something unknown, something you don't really know, like you starting your podcast or, me starting to write my book. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen with this. Like, I don't know.
I think some things too, you just don't think too much into. Like I didn't really think too much into the podcast. I mean, literally the night I thought about it, the next morning I started working on it. And it was that fast. It was just, and I didn't even say it was going to be a podcast or anything. I just said, hey, listen, I've got this thing I'm working on. Is anybody interested? And then all these people are saying they're interested. And I was like, wow, I got some work to do. And then I realized how much work it was. And I was just like, okay, well, now I already put the motion in, am I going to do it or not?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I imagine with your book, because, you started the first chapter and then you're just like, well, now I'm committed because, I got the first chapter down. I said I've been wanting to do this. So, if I don't keep going,
exactly.
I'm not going to get there.
And that's something that, like, I made a decision and I made a commitment to myself. Yeah. And I didn't tell anyone I was doing this. So it's like, I could have quit, never finished it. No one would have ever known.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'll know.
Yeah.
If you commit to working out 5 days a week and you're taking days off and skipping days for no reason, it's like, you're only cheating yourself out of what you say you want.
Yep.
And then you just got to ask yourself, like, do you really want it? Do you really want to be in shape? Do you really want to change?
Yeah.
I don't know if you read that part. I don't remember what chapter it was in. It was in one of the first 2 chapters, but that part about the dog sitting on the nail.
I skimmed by it really fast, but I didn't get a chance to read it yet. No.
So I heard that.
What's the dog on the nail?
Is it a story? Yeah, I learned it from one of my mentors in
okay, so I started reading it online when the preview, they give you that little preview, and that's where it actually stopped. So I will be reading that part today because I was like, darn it, what happens?
I heard that. I'm like, man, that is so.
So you guys are going to have to get the book now. So Mikey has his book out. It's 180. You can get it on Amazon under his name. So Mikey, you're going to have to say your last name again for me. So Mikey Bonasso? Bonasso. Okay, I got it now. Bonasso. Okay. So you have to go to, can you type in just your name on Amazon and get the book?
I believe so.
Does it come up?
I believe so.
Okay. Because you should have like an author page, I imagine, by now. It's still pretty new. So.
You could also type 180 and then how to, and then it should pop up.
Okay, cool. All right. And I'll put the link in the description for everybody that sees the replay on the YouTube as well as on the podcast. It'll be in the podcast description as well, so they can find that book. Now, you're doing coaching still, right? The fitness coaching. I think you were doing that through the winter, and you're still doing it now, right? Okay. I imagine you're not traveling for that, but are you doing it online for people?
So initially, I literally, like, through this process of when I knew I wasn't going to go to California.
Yeah.
I came up with this idea of like, I'm going to start a traveling personal training business.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this, get into real estate. Like, this is what I'm going to run with. And then it was like, everything shut down. So I'm like, okay, I can't be traveling now. So that's when everything kind of shifted to online. And I actually recently started an e-commerce business. So it's all tied into my personal brand, and I'm shifting more towards just online training and coaching because I'm working with so many people now that aren't local that it's like, I'm just, it was
like that. Yeah.
And people were local. I'm like, okay, you can come here and I can train you.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I'm not really working at a gym anymore. So I'm just kind of like I just think it's better, because a lot of people too I work with aren't even local anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely better online.
Yeah, more training coaching.
You tell them what equipment and stuff they can use.
That's what I'm starting to work on.
Right?
I'll have my own like workout equipment that people can purchase through my website.
Oh, okay, that's cool. All right.
It's all centered around kind of anywhere, anytime fitness. And my vision is I want to create a movement of movement. So it's not so much bodybuilding, it's not CrossFit, it's not anything crazy. I mean, I see so many fitness trainers where they're like, get shredded for summer, and if that's what you want, that's awesome. But my focus is more for the people that aren't doing anything. Like, let's get you moving a little bit.
Okay, cool. So even people with limited ability, limited motion and movement. Okay, that's really good. So even maybe for like older people or people that are recovering from something, like what brings to mind is I had a doctor on here a couple days ago. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I apologize if beforehand. But he had a stroke. And he was saying, of course, in a stroke, you can't, get mobility. And I can't pull up his name right now, but he was just on here 2 days ago. And he was talking about, all the strokes and all the wheelchair time that he had. And I imagine that's very helpful for anybody to, get recovery. So yeah. Dr. Simmons. Dr. Simmons is his name. Sorry, I couldn't remember the name off the top of my head. Yeah. So
and really too,
definitely.
for people that are working professionals that don't have time to go to a gym, or stay-at-home parents. That's kind of like, let's create something to get people off the couch and moving a little bit. I mean, you don't really have to go to a gym. You don't have to have a weight equipment. Like you can get pretty creative. And I think through this quarantine time, like I saw that. I saw a lot of people using water jugs for, just for some weighted resistance. And so I think you can get pretty creative, but that's what sparked my vision for Embody Better Fitness, which is just creating a movement of movement and making fitness fun.
So is that the website name too, Mikey? Is that the website name as well? Embody.
It's embodybetter.com.
Embody.
Letter M.
M. I'm writing it down. Oh, you broke up there for a second.
Oh.
What was it?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
It's embodybetter.com, but it's
okay. Okay. Embody better.
And then better.com.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna put that on the description too.
So it's embody without the E. It's M.
Yeah.
Body.
Body.com. Yeah. Okay, got it. So you are doing the coaching online. You just finished a book. What's next? What else?
Getting my real estate license.
Okay, so you're gonna go further into real estate.
These are my top 4 goals for 2020.
Okay.
Write a book.
Did that.
Launch my personal brand and my e-commerce business.
Were you doing that?
Working on. I wanted to get my real estate license, which I'll probably start working towards in July.
Okay.
And then I want to land my first TEDx talk.
Okay, yeah, the TEDx. Yep.
Apparently, there's like none happening this year.
No, I don't think so. But you can prepare. I had that on my list too, actually, for this year as a TEDx talk, and I was actually getting a hold of people that ran it, and then I was also just looking at running my own, because you can run your own too.
Oh, really?
Yep. You just go to apply for it on their website.
Huh.
So yeah, because I was just like, well, I might just do it myself and just get some other people to come.
Hey, let me know. I'm interested.
Hey, we could do it together, right? We'll have to see when they'll allow us to have it, because with the stuff going on.
The few event coordinators I talk to, they're like, yeah, there's nothing happening until maybe next year. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I think I saw a couple things said that they're going to try to do in September, but these are like local things, but they're just like, maybe, maybe. So, yeah. So
I'm also I don't really want to do one if there's only going to be 5 people allowed.
yeah. We're gonna have to. You're gonna have to get some camera crew out there and like taping it, so it'll be a virtual event. So yeah, it'd be neat.
That's another big goal.
Oh, that's an easy one. You'll get there. That's an easy one.
It'll happen.
It'll happen. Yeah, the real estate license shouldn't take too long either, so you'll get that too.
Did you get your license?
No, I just invest in real estate since 2001. Never had to get a license, just hire agents. Yeah, which is another route if you want to do that. So you could do that too.
I'm probably gonna do both.
But you could, yeah. So you'll know both sides of it. So yeah,
I actually want to work as an agent and just learn the industry and just get more immersed, and then get into more investment opportunities, rentals, some Airbnbs, vacation homes, and stuff like that. So that's kind of my longer term vision of that. And then I got my personal brand, my fitness stuff.
Very well balanced there.
Eventually, the release of book number 2. Which will be
that's going to be about
New York Times bestseller.
Yeah. Okay. So you already have a title for that one?
I have some ideas I've written down, but I feel like I got to go through this next phase of my life.
Yep.
Continue to grow, evolve, and I feel like when the time is right, I'll know, and I'll know.
I got it. I understand. Yeah, you're planting the seeds. That's how I like to look at it, at least, because I have the same thing. I have multiple other projects I'm working on. I just don't announce them because I don't think the timing's right, or I don't think it's the right time for me as a person. And that's good to recognize that too. So, if you realize
this is the time I've really gone public with that.
What's that? The other book?
That and just some of my goals. I mean, I try to keep things, like you say, like keep a little private, and don't tell all my moves.
Yeah, because you don't want to get that. I guess it's the way I look at it. Actually, is once you like commit to it to yourself, and then you put a little effort into it, and then once you put that little effort into it, it's easier to tell people. And I don't know if it's just because that initial movement sparked that, like, I can do this, I feel good about doing it. It reminds me of the first time I met you, actually. So I met you when we were getting ready to walk on some flames. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
So, and here I'm just like, what did you say? What are we doing? Because I came in late. And you guys are like, yeah, we're gonna go off and walk on some flames on some hot coal, and I'm just like, okay, well, I came here for your experience. I came here for your experience, so let's go. And it took me a moment until who was the speaker that up at the stage? It was
Tony Robbins' son.
Oh, it was Tony Robbins' son.
Derek, okay. Derek Robbins, I think, is his
name. Okay, cool. So he was just like, and make sure you commit to it and you put it on your Facebook profile. And I'm just like, okay, I guess maybe. And then once you do it, once you put it out there, you're like, oh my God, now I gotta go do it. I gotta go do this.
There's power in going public.
Oh yeah, it is.
I just did, so now I have to.
And now you have to. Yeah, you have to. It'll work. You got it. If you ever need encouragement, you can always, listen back to your story here, your own success story on how you, said that, you lost all this weight. You ended up, having a gym. You had this experience that you were going to go off and be a movie star briefly until coronavirus took over and, totally disrailed everything.
Thanks, Corona.
Yeah. It wasn't meant for you. That's okay. See, bigger, better things. bigger, better
a
things.
lot of other doors. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, look at all this other stuff that you're already working on. You'll get there. So, just listen back to your story, whenever you're feeling, like you need to pick me up. And there you go. You have it out there now. Now you can listen to the podcast, One Up, right? And you can go see your video at amina.media. So it's been nice talking to you, Mikey. It's been too long since I've seen you.
Yeah, it's been great to catch up.
Yeah. Stay in touch. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell the audience today? Just to give them a push of encouragement?
I would say if there's something within you deep down that you really do want to do, whether it's for you or for someone you love, something that maybe you've been putting off or something you think timing's not right, or I don't know if I can, what if I fail, or what if I succeed, which that's even a real fear too, the fear of succeeding, like beyond to where you can control it. I mean, I've had that thought too. Like, what if I do something that explodes and it's like, I'm not prepared for this amount of success.
You're right. There is. Yeah, there is. And and that's another thing that I was listening to, reading, right? I do the reading through the Audible, where it was most people aren't afraid of death. In fact, people aren't afraid of death. They're afraid of life. And I was like, that's really true, because you're afraid to take that risk because maybe it does. Maybe it does explode. Maybe you did go out there to California and, while you were out there, all these other opportunities took you away from your home and took you away from real estate, and you were on this other path, and, you're just like, wow, this is overwhelming, maybe, you stay here and, the real estate thing blows up, and then you're just like, well, now I got to make a choice, Yeah. And sometimes that can be hard. Definitely.
I think you definitely got to just follow your gut, follow your heart, and just trust the process, trust yourself, trust the path that you're on. And if you want to go for something, it's okay to be afraid, but just don't let fear stop you. So that's another thing I talk about in the book, is to do it scared. I mean, there's been so many things I've done. Like, I remember with one of my network marketing businesses, like having to speak on stage in front of like hundreds of people, being so terrified out of my mind, thinking I'm going to like throw up. And it's like, you know what? I don't have to do this. I get to do this.
That's a good way to look
and
at
it was an opportunity to just see what I'm made of, to grow, just like doing that competition. Like, that was an opportunity for me to just push when I thought, man, I got nothing left. And then you do one more rep. I mean, you really can push yourself so much further than your brain, will allow you to believe.
Yeah.
If there's anything in you that you've been putting off, a bucket list thing, something you want to do or feel you should do, just do it. Try, start first, and just like a little nibble a day. And you got to allow the compound effect to kick in. I mean, it might take 10 years to become that overnight success, but it's just the little thing you do. I mean, I really believe that success is found in your daily routine.
Yeah, it's basically your daily habits. So exactly what we started off here talking about, turning around the daily habits.
Yeah. That would be my best piece of advice, and just believe in yourself, really. I mean, that's because you're going to have so much outside noise. I mean, you'll have positivity, you'll have fans, you'll have supporters, but you're going to have a lot of people that will hate, they will judge, they will criticize, they'll condemn. And you really just got to focus on what you're doing and believe that you can do it. Because whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. So you might as well tell yourself you can, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, don't ever let anybody tell you what you can and can't do. It's your life, so you take control of it and do what you want.
No one knows you better than you.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
Spend a lot of time with yourself and ask yourself those questions we talked about in the beginning. I mean, get to know you.
Yeah.
It's okay to be real with yourself. And if there's something, I mean, I can think of times in the past that maybe from things family or friends or people said that maybe I should do something, and you start to kind of believe like you're not good enough because I can't do this thing as well as, like I had a lot of people in my family were very good with like construction stuff.
Uh-huh.
And me, I'm not like, I can do basic stuff, but I'm not going to go build a house from scratch. I don't have that construction, contractor knowledge.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I felt like a loser. I felt inadequate. I felt like, how come all these people around me are so good at this and this is just not my thing?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of this analogy. If you judged an elephant, like if you compared an elephant and a monkey, if you judged an elephant on its ability to climb a tree, it would spend its whole life thinking it's stupid and it's useless, worthless. The elephant may think, wow, how come the monkey can climb the tree so well and I can't? I'm worthless. I'm useless.
Yeah.
But the elephant can do so much more that the
monkey
can do.
Definitely.
Yeah. So you gotta like find what is it that you are the best at, or what you're good at that you could become better in, that someone else that doesn't have that skill set or passion may not be able to do what you do.
Yep.
And you just have to embrace that. So that took me years of kind of, understanding that and really finding that value within yourself of what you're good at that other people can't do. I mean, no one can sing your song.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mikey. Well, thank you for coming on. I truly appreciate you and taking out time. Yeah, you're welcome. And thank you guys for listening in on the live today. And we'll be back again tomorrow with 3 people tomorrow. So it's my first day of 3. And you guys can see all these by going to amina.media to see the live content that was recorded today. You can also go to the One Up podcast by getting the links from anchor.fm/oneup spelled out. Again, that's anchor.fm/oneup. Thank you guys again for being on this station and sharing the message of hope with your friends and family is truly appreciated. This is episode number 21, Message of Hope from Struggle to Success. Thank you guys again. Take care, Mikey. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Talk to you soon.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.